Hello, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. So today we will have a webinar about how you can manage your FBA inventory better way. And my co-host here is FBA Dave. I'm sure most of you know him.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Welcome, welcome. We're going to have a blast. We're going to kick it off pretty soon. We're just going to let the room flood in a little bit more. Ali is playing host. He is the Bookz Pro Support. Thank you very much, Ali, for doing that for us. And
My pleasure.
yeah, we're just going to let a few more people roll into the room, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to try to cram in a lot of information in about 30 to 45 minutes. So get your pens ready and just take notes as much as you can, right?
Yeah. So
Ömer, can you check, is there any people on the waiting room?
no, I don't see anyone.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Let's
Cool.
give it a minute or two and
Yeah. Just wait till it's
Let
5.
me
Yeah.
let me go ahead and boop, boop, give everybody a reminder.
so you have a beautiful background, Dave.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I'm partial to it.
That reminds my warehouse.
Man, it was a crazy day today. We have several trucks, and we only have one dock, so there's been a lot of waiting time between the trucks. It was kind of crazy.
What about you, Ömer? I heard that you're doubling the space.
Yeah, we just rented 2 more warehouses that's adjacent to our current warehouses, and
You
then
said 2 more?
2 more, yeah.
Woo!
It's not separate location, so
Right,
they're both adjacent to our existing operations.
right,
It's for the MF operation. So we had a term on the lease, first right
hmm
refusal. So every time they have available space under the
right.
same management company, they were supposed to offer us before they can put it on the market.
Got
So
it. Yeah. Yep, I
late.
got you.
And then we we spent the last week setting up shelves, doing some construction.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and get started with everything. Okay, everybody's already here that needs to be here, and people whenever they roll in, Ali's got it, right?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, let's go it.
Oh, Ali, you disabled my screen sharing.
All right. That's my bad.
Don't worry, guys. They're professionals. Oh, hold on. So they are professionals. They absolutely know what they're doing.
Yeah, sure. Ömer, can you get the host back?
Okay. Actually, I can't.
No?
Okay, now try it.
Okay. All right.
There we go.
All right, let's start. So today we will be talking about mainly FBA inventory management, and we will touch some bases with the FBM as well, but it will be mainly about FBA. I have broken down this topic into 4 subtopics. And before I dive in, so as you all know, FBA program is a great one for Amazon booksellers because you are basically leveraging their labor and the fulfillment center, and you can put higher price points for your items comparing to FBM. And the subtopics are, I will first mention about why selling books on Amazon with FBA justifies higher price points, why people would be paying more to get it as Prime or FBA, as we all know. And I will also mention about the types of FBA fees and compare it to with the merchant fulfilled fees. And also what are the FBA related metrics to track and limitations to consider. And finally, I will explain my approach to my All FBA inventory.
Sounds good.
So I want to start with a quote from Jeff Bezos. The most important thing is to focus obsessively on the customer. Our goal is to be Earth's most customer-centric company. And that's mentality and mindset made like over, I would say over 100 million Prime users. It may be more. That's why they were able to build that trust with their customers. And that also provides expedited shipping. And they have excellent customer service and hassle-free returns and refunds. You don't need to deal with different sellers. It's like they have some expectation. They know how are they going to treat it, and they are treated in a great manner. And also the other advantage is having a buy box advantage. Dave, could you explain the buy box advantage? What buy box is?
Sure. Buy box is basically, when you go on Amazon and you're shopping for any particular thing. Okay. So Amazon pushes a product or a product price in front of you, and that's what we call the buy box. So if you're looking for, I don't know, a giraffe toy, right? Okay. The first price you see for that giraffe toy, even though there's many other people listed on the listing itself, okay, that is what we call the buy box. And that's an advantage because usually people are not going to scroll further down the line to see what other sellers and what other price points there are. They're going to see that's the price, and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to buy it. And Amazon makes it very seamless. You click it, you buy, it ships to the address that you already have listed. And the whole process takes less than a second, and that is really what gives it the advantage.
Another question: when you are shopping on Amazon, do you see all other sellers or just use the buy box button?
You usually just use the buy box button because it's just easy. It's kind of like Staples easy button, if you guys remember that, right? So Staples got this easy button, which is a huge marketing thing, and they just try to make things easy. One big red button, you hit that and everything is solved. Like, that's beautiful. And that's what the buy box is.
Yeah, I read an article, a blog about that, and that blog was claiming that almost 82% of the buyers just using buy box button, and other 18 are just evaluating based on the other offers.
Correct. So buy box is very strong.
Yeah, it's very strong. And that's why we are allowed to sell at a better profit margin on some of our inventory. I wouldn't say it's great to make all of your inventory as FBA. Like there should be a debate on this, because there are some sellers that are doing mainly FBM. I know Dave he's doing mainly FBM.
I mean, I'm more of a hybrid, but we could definitely have a much stronger conversation about this another time, though, because it's multifaceted. There's so much information that goes into whether or not you're going to do FBM, FBA, and or of a mix. There's so many things to understand about that.
But for the starters, doing mainly FBA is a great way, because you just let Amazon deal with it. And as you grow, I think the most profitable way would be doing as hybrid, as Dave and me doing.
Absolutely.
And here are some examples about selling it at a higher price point. For example, those screenshots are from Bookz mobile application, one of our products. And as you see here, labeled 1, this is the lowest merchant offer, $6.53, and the lowest FBA is $30.11. And on the second example, as you see, there's $15 difference. Actually, those are the ones that we have just sold today. There are many examples like this.
Can you explain the colors, Ömer? Because
so the colors, the green ones are the buy box, the thing that I mentioned earlier, and $39.86. Even though this seller was selling at almost $40, which is $15 more expensive, he or she was still able to get the buy box. And here, same as well. And if there is a yellow line, that means Amazon is on the listing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And this is very very similar to other scouting apps in the market, but we have some like unique features that they don't have. I don't want to get into too much details here, but this is a database mobile application. If you want to check it out, you can just go to App Store or Google Play and type Bookz mobile, and it's free right now, comparing to $30-40 a month. But I don't know how long that's gonna be, so you can just try it. it may not be free. Actually, it's not going to be free forever. So we are planning to charge for it, but I don't know when. It may be soon.
That's a good point, and I think I should go ahead and bring it up to all my followers on my Instagram. If you're gonna try it, now's the time because it's not gonna be free forever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I made a comparison table here, FBA versus FBM. So the referral fee is the same for both channels. It's 15% for books. It may be different for other categories. And there is a closing fee, $1.80 for both of them. It's the same. And things get changing behind this point. For example, fulfillment cost, Amazon has different fulfillment costs for different product tiers based on the weight and the dimensions. And I think it starts at $3.22 for the lowest tier, and it may go up to, I don't know, maybe $10, $12 if
I've
it's
seen $10. Yeah, definitely.
And actually I have seen the lower fees, lower than this, because they started a program called Small and Light. If you
Right.
are selling your item under $10, it's probably less than that.
Yeah, it is. I think it's like around $2 and some change.
Almost $2.50.
Mm-hmm.
And the comparison on the FBM side here is you have the USPS label purchase, and the cheapest one is starting from $3.92. If you don't have any discounts, if your volume is not big enough, I know that Dave's volume is high enough so that he has better rates from USPS or
Right.
other.
So just to interrupt this a little bit, Omer, the 392, that's actually changed as of this week. It's actually gone up over $4.
Really?
Yeah. It's gone up. So the spread between the bulk rates and just your retail rates for medium mail has definitely gone up. Yeah. So
Yeah.
just to let you know. But yeah.
Okay. And plus you will have some label and envelope cost. It's not going to be free, but if you are using FBA, if they are using envelope or cardboard box, it will be free. And also you should consider your labor. If you are doing by yourself or if you have employees doing it, you should also factor that in, that labor cost. And there is monthly storage fees. It's almost 3 cents per unit per month. It may differ based on the volume. If it's a very small books, low dimensions, it may be like 1 cent or 2 cents. If it's a big item, bulky item, it may be like 4 or 5, even 6 cents. And there is no variable cost for FBM, so you're gonna pay the rent anyways, even if you use it or not, you're gonna pay that rent. Or if it's your house, if there is a convenience, you can use that place as well.
Okay.
And there is ages inventory surcharge, and the former name is long-term storage fees. And that starts if your inventory age is getting at 270 days and beyond. Up until now, you don't pay this long-term storage fee. Actually, it was 6 months before, and they changed it to 270 days.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, wasn't it 180 days, but they did make a change on that?
Yeah,
Okay,
they did get changed. It's now 270 days.
Good.
And they are charging like almost 5 cents per unit. Actually, it was $1.50 per cubic foot. And for each cubic foot, Amazon can fit almost 30 books. So here's that. And also, if it's getting over 365 days, you're getting charged almost triple. So that's why you need to move things around quickly. If it's not very profitable, you shouldn't leave as an FBA inventory. You can do many different things, which I will explain later. And there's no variable cost here. And also creating removal orders, which is huge. It starts from almost $1.
Yeah.
But
So
I think,
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I think on average it's around like $2.5 or something. This is the minimum one, the smallest one.
Yeah, this is the smallest tier.
Yeah. For those that have done FBA like a while back, I don't know if you guys remember the golden age when removal was like 5 cents, 10 cents, maybe 25 cents. I don't know if you guys remember that. Those were the good days where you could just throw anything into Amazon inventory, and if it doesn't sell, remove it. So what? It's going to cost me 5 cents to remove it, you know. So, but those days are gone now.
Yeah, it used to. There was a trick back in, like, I don't remember the times, but if an item will be like charged long-term storage fee, you can create remove you could create remove orders and then list that back again. But Amazon get the idea, and right now, if you just create remove order for an item, you're not gonna be able to list it again for 3 months.
Right, right.
Oh, good to know. And here is IPI Score. It stands for Inventory Performance Index. This is the main metric Amazon evaluates your performance, if you are being a good boy or not. And it may change the limitations based on that. And there are breakdowns here. So this is based on out of 1,000 points. And here you see in my account, actually, this is a screenshot from my account. It's 492. So this red part is being red flag. So don't get close too much to here. And there are some factors that affects that IPI score. Excess inventory percentage. Basically, this is the, like, if you have an ASIN or book that you keep sending even though you don't get enough sales, like you don't send 100 copies of the same book if the average sales rank is 2 million or 1 million. You just
That's right.
Keep sending gradually. And I think this is the most important metric based on my experience, which is FBA sell-through rate. This is basically how fast you are selling through your item. And this was based on 90 days, right, Ali? I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rolling average of 90 days. So, I mean, let me ask you a question. So a lot of people want to know.
Mhm.
A lot of booksellers are really under their sell-through rate. Okay. I see you have 1.3 on your account, but I see a lot of booksellers are like 0.6, 0.7. You know, they're definitely in the red. How would somebody increase their sell-through rate? Get it at least into, you know, over 1.0?
So there will be two solutions for that problem. First, they can change their accept reject triggers in a way that they can be more strict on inventory. People can get very excited when they see like $100 book, and they think that this is going to sell for sure, but the sales rank being like 7 million, 8 million, or 5 million. So it may not be real. So I would make the triggers more strict. You don't go beyond 1 million or beyond 12, but everyone's strategy is different. So you experiment things gradually and monitor your metrics, and then you can find what's best working for you.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, is that they don't really understand how to work their triggers. They don't know what the triggers really mean, to be honest with you, you know. And I think I'm going to hold a little class on that a little bit further down the line. But I do agree with you that, you know, being more mindful of your triggers is the key to increasing your sell-through rate and also increasing your profits, because if you're increasing your sell-through rate, you're selling more books, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Ömer, do we have a good sell-through rate? For example, a gap.
Yeah, actually, there is a slide.
Okay, perfect.
And also stranded inventory percentage, in this case, 0.11%, 0.11%. This is basically, for some reasons, Amazon is making your inventory inactive. It may be high pricing error, it may be inventory error, or there can be errors during the listing. And you should also keep looking at that metric, and you should keep fixing those items. If that gets like higher and higher, that's going to affect your IPI score. And the last one is FBA in stock rate. There is nothing that we can do about it. And I think this has very low impact comparing to sell-through rate.
Well, based on Amazon documentation, it does not affect IPI score.
Oh,
right.
Cool.
Okay.
And this is the capacity limits. So it was called restock limits before, when they first bring that thing. it affected so many Amazon sellers. I know like so many people closed down their business. That's very unfortunate because they were not able to adopt that change. And it was basically a loop. Like Amazon was lowering their limits and they were not able to send more books. And since they were not able to send more books, their sell-through rate it's decreased a lot. And then they got into that loop. And Amazon changed it to capacity limits. In this new version, you can plan things better because it's not very unexpected. Amazon lets you know way beforehand so that you can take your precautions. And here, as you see, so this is, you can find this capacity monitor when you go to your shipments, FBA shipments, or your FBA inventory. It's going to be in the center of the bottom. You can expand it clicking on this arrow pointing up, and then you are going to see some things here. The main thing here is the base FBA capacity limit. This is basically the one that Amazon allocates you for your inventory based on your performance. If your metrics is better, you are doing great. Amazon allocates more space for you. If you are being like bad on your in terms of your metrics, Amazon takes that space and giving to another seller. And the other important one is here, utilization percentage. So if your utilization percentage is very low, you don't need to worry about too much. If it gets closer to 100, you need to take some steps and request more space from Amazon. As you see here, my current usage is 37.73%, which is a lot. Probably we do have almost 70,000 units at FBA. And so we have space for over 100,000, which would be good enough for us because some of our inventory keeps selling. So we should be good. But that doesn't mean that Amazon is not going to cut us down along the way. So you should keep track of this metric. And if your utilization percentage is getting closer to 100, you can take the steps. You can go to Capacity Manager and request for more.
Okay.
You mean like buy or request? Is it free?
No, it's not free. Great point. So they basically sell that space to you and they don't charge for it yet. If you are performing good, they're not going to charge. If you request and you have that space still from some other sellers, they're going to charge you for it. So it's basically you are requesting cubic foot. Let's say you have 1,000 cubic foot and then you think that you need 500 more cubic foots. And then you can say, hey, I would like to pay around $3, let's say $3 per cubic foot. So you are willing to pay $1,500 for that additional 500 cubic foot. And if you are performing great, that means Amazon is gonna reimburse that, is gonna give you performance credits, and this is gonna be up to 100% of the reservation fee. So if your metrics is good enough, this reservation fee will be waived, so you will not pay anything for it.
Just want to point out for everybody that's listening, so the performance credits, okay, you actually when you apply for capacity increases, there's also a calculator that Amazon gives you so that you can calculate what you are expected in terms of like if you have this extra space, what your sales would be, etc. And if you can meet that criteria, what you would actually pay or not pay in this case for the space that Amazon gives you. So I highly recommend using the calculator that Amazon would give you to kind of calculate what kind of space you need so that you don't have to end up paying for what you don't use.
Yeah, so for this new system, new structure, you need to be good at doing projections. You need to consider like how many units you are selling a month and how many you are listing a month, and there's going to be, of course, a difference, and this is going to be the growth of your inventory, and you need to factor that in when you need to request more.
Okay.
And there's an example here. Let's say your limit is 1,000 and you are requesting 500 more, and your new limit, if you are being granted, your new limit is gonna be 1,500, and increased capacity ratio would be 33%. And if your total FBA sales is, let's say, $105,000, you will be making $35,000 off of your additional capacity that you have requested. This is how they calculate. And Amazon is giving you 15 cents for each dollar. And in this case, they're giving you performance credit in the amount of $5,250. And if you just divide that by this amount you requested, that means you would not be charged if your reservation fee is less than $10.50. It will, like, you will be getting those performance credits all back 100%. But if you have placed a bid $12, Amazon is going to charge you like some parts of it because you didn't get enough sales. So you can see more examples going to the if you just Google capacity limits, there is a very long article published by Seller Central. You can see more examples.
That was really good. I'm gonna need the slide over here so I can post that. That's really good. That's really explains everything and breaks it down. So I would like that. Yeah,
definitely.
It may seem complicated if you're hearing this for the first time, but trust me, there's some the sheet the Amazon provides you will explain its own.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot more complicated than that. Let's say like there has been like assessment dates. For example, like tomorrow, Amazon is assessing the empty available warehouse space. Let's say they have like 1 million cubic foot available, and then they're considering everyone's reservation fee. They are starting allocating from the top to the bottom, the one that pays the most, and then once all 1 million is allocated, they don't go beyond that. So you are not getting granted. So the higher bids you place, the higher chance that you are gonna get that space. So it doesn't happen like bad things during first 3 quarters, but it's Q4 you may need to place more dollar amount.
That's just, and especially on Q4, they like to restrict booksellers too. That's one of the things. There's always been we always try to cram in as much inventory as we can before Q4. Before we don't know how much they're going to cut us for, so that's always been an issue. But no, I've never actually requested capacity though. Maybe I would this year.
Ömer, can we make an example, a short one, to understand the bid strategy? By the way, Amazon allows you to see the bid history. How much for a specific week the lowest bid won the limits. For example, they gave $10, Ömer gave $7, I gave $5, and one more guy gave $3 for the limits. They will start granting the limit first today because he bids the highest, and come down. If I am granted and the space is filled, then the next guy will not get the extra space, but they will not be charged $10. He's gonna be charged my bid, so it's gonna be like $5. So this is the good side of bidding. You're gonna be charged for the lowest bidder granted that space.
Yeah, even if you place $10, that doesn't mean that Amazon is gonna charge you $10.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah. So there is an optimal balance between maximizing profit and achieving an adequate sell-through rate, IPI rate. Of course, Amazon allows you if you have the best possible sell-through rate because you're being a great seller and your inventory is moving very fast in their fulfillment centers, and they can make more money out of that some specific cubic foot because it's moving quickly. But it doesn't mean that having the best STR is the most profitable way. If you have very low STR, that means it's gonna hurt your cash flow because you are getting restricted based on your metrics. Your STR getting lower and lower, and Amazon is gonna cut you. But having a great one doesn't mean that you are making the most profit. For example, like I'm only accepting up to 500,000 for the FBA, and I'm just rejecting the rest. That means that I'm leaving money on the table. Of course, my sell-through rate is great because I'm only sending in the like very good sales volume items, but it also means that I'm leaving money on the table by rejecting those inventory. According to my experience, optimal range for me is 1 to 1.4, and also my VAs know that range and they monitor this. I also monitor this. If it's getting too close to 1, we change our strategies. If it's getting too close to 1.4 and going beyond, we are changing our strategies as well. As I have higher SDR, my limits gets higher, so I become more moderate on repricing and send more long tail items to FBA. As I have lower SDR, my limits gets lower, so I become more aggressive on repricing and make my accept reject triggers more strict for in terms of sales volume metrics, average sales rank or E-score, sold quantity, whatever you call it, for FBA items.
Gotcha.
And some long tail item example here, like it's 1.6 average sales rank, and the lowest merchant is $6.12, which is not profitable. But we have sold this item today for $16.99. By the way, this is a feature that we have on our mobile application. You can see your items that are sold today and make some judgments on your repricing rules. And another example here, we have sold it today for $16.79, but the lowest merchant is basically just $6, not profitable. And it's also a long tail item. Okay, the last breakdown would be my approach to all FBA inventory. Like you just don't send and forget your inventory. I met many FBA sellers that are doing that. They just keep sending. They don't monitor, they don't review their prices, they don't check their stranded inventory, and they keep sending. And I've even seen like 0.3 sell-through rate. They just kept sending. And this is not a good approach. You need to keep monitoring your metrics periodically, like once a week, once a month, or bi-weekly, and then take necessary steps. Here, I have included some screenshots from Bookz Pro, our application, and this is the inventory manager part. There are some tools here that's very handy, useful. So as you see here, you can add some filters here. You can track down your bad performing inventory by like, show me the items that are at least 180 days old. You can say, show me the ones that are over 2 million sales rank or more, or quantity, and many filters. And then our VA is going through one by one if the inventory age is very old, and they are trying to remedy this situation. For example, here, first, they put the maximum price as $89 on this item. And since it didn't sell through and the age is 521 days, they changed it to $69. And you can see the logs. And of course, if it's not going to sell again, they're going to decrease. And the final destination would be creating removal order. But I think this is going to sell through.
So question, right? So I know that Bookz Pro has a repricer, okay? On the Bookz Pro repricer, if I'm understanding this correctly, what you're doing is you're decreasing the price as the inventory ages because you just want to be more competitive in your price so that the item actually sells, right?
Yeah, that's a great question, yeah.
Right. So then how does the repricer, is there a built-in time for your repricer to actually make the changes automatically?
So we have scenario-based repricing rules. You can just create circumstances, scenarios like if inventory age is more than this, if the quantity is less than that, if there is buy box and buy box is on FBA, if this, if that, and do that. And your items are traveling through those scenarios and choosing the most convenient one. So you don't need to assign any rules to any of your item. And also you don't need to have minimum prices to automatically change your prices, because we have a feature called global minimum payout limit, which is basically helping our seller to make sure that they are not losing money ever. They can just say, hey, price my items and make sure that if they put $3 there, make sure that I'm getting at least $3 payout. If they are putting $2 there, make sure that I'm getting at least $2 based on the FBA fees. And we have even enhanced that feature using inventory age. You can say, hey, if inventory age is less than 90 days, my minimum global limit would be $3. And then if it's 90 to 180, it becomes $2, 150, and so on and so forth.
Got it. So just to summarize, it's just your global limit is the minimum profit that you want to make off of an item, right? So if it's brand new and if it's scanned for, when on the pre-scan, it scans for, hey, $3 profit, okay, you can set it for the day 1 to day 90, we're going to maintain minimum profit of $3. And then from day 91 to day, say like day 180, we're going to lower that to $2 to be a little bit more competitive.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, we have some clients that are aiming for low-hanging fruits. They don't just a lot, they just go for the most expensive ones, and they put a very high global minimum limit. Like I've seen $10, $12. Even if the competition price goes below that price point, they just wait. They just wait, and if the lowest one sells, and it becomes their turn, and they make the sale.
Yeah.
At first, they are decreasing by the inventory age. Like they are just giving it a chance.
Okay, I got it.
And also other approach would be creating removal orders periodically if the potential profit is not high and have high inventory age. So if the inventory age is like over 365 days, over a year, that's very bad for the metrics and for the fees. We are getting exposed to long-term storage fees. And even though it's like just 10 cents, 15 cents per unit, considering like high volume, that adds up a lot.
Okay.
And here you can do one by one. You can create removal orders one by one on Bookz Pro Inventory Manager. Clicking here, you don't need to copy and paste the SKU to the Seller Central. You can just do one by one here and choose if you are going to do return to address or dispose. Or you can just apply some filters. Hey, show me the ones that are less than $6 or $10, that are over 2 million average sales rank, that are FBA and has been in the inventory for at least 6 months. Once you apply that filter, you can take a bulk action and create removal order with more convenient way.
That is really cool, though, and that is really convenient that you can go ahead and select and do bulk removal orders on Bookz Pro. Omer and I were talking pre-show, and this is for bulk removal orders if you wanted to dispose and also return to yourself, correct? It does not include liquidation orders, okay? Unfortunately, Amazon does not allow bulk removal of those. You have to kind of like manually do that if you want it, or set it up on Seller Central to liquidate anything that over X amount of days that would incur long-term storage fee. You can also set that up on Seller Central automatically as well.
Yeah. Actually, related to that topic, we have posted a blog article how we manage our removal orders strategically.
Cool.
You can just go to. I will show it there.
Sure.
At the end. Okay, that's it. And it's time to do some giveaways. Our first giveaway would be the ebook that we have prepared. So we put so many hours in it. It's about selling books on Amazon, and it's going to include many information. And let me show you how you can download it.
And that's for everybody. Everybody can download an ebook,
Yes.
right? Cool.
Yes. So this is the ebook. So it has some topics like general information about Amazon, what is required to open an Amazon seller account, and what are the existing business models on Amazon? Why should I start with books? Difference between FBM and FBA. How and where can I source books? How should you approach them? And what are the equipments and supplies you need to buy with the links? What criteria should you consider when purchasing books, and step-by-step starting process. So you can download this if you go to bookspro.com and come here. You can just write your email address and name. You can download it here.
Yeah,
And
I'm going to download it just to check it out.
And there is a download button here. You can download it.
Sweet.
There is also a Turkish version for the Turkish guys.
Oh yeah, we have.
But it's not in the landing page bookspro.com. You can reach out to me and ask for it. It's also for free.
Mm-hmm. And also, if you need to reach out to Bookz Pro team, the best way would be like if you are ready to get a demo to see further, you can book a demo here from this calendar. Or if you have a quick question, you can use that live chat.
Cool.
And the giveaway number 2. So Bookz Pro has 14-day free trials, and we created a coupon code that allows people to use additional 14 trials. So it's going to be a month, 30 days free trial. And
that's right. Yeah. So guys, this is a really big deal because being 14 days is cool, but having a month of free trial of this enterprise software is going to be life-changing for a lot of people. Use the referral code. You can also find it on my Instagram as well. If you go to my Instagram profile page and go to my link tree, you will see that automatically in there. And yeah, it's a no-brainer for the amount of power that you get behind the software. It's really, really good. From inventory management to repricing, especially. You're not going to really find another piece of software in the open market that will do as much as Bookz Pro can do for you if you're an FBA seller.
Yeah, definitely. Ali, could you share the link so that people?
Yeah, I already copied and pasted into the chat.
All right,
you can directly click on that.
Awesome, thank you.
And on Bookz Pro, there is mobile scanning application, which is free right now, but of course it will not be free. There is Lister, there is Repricer, Inventory Manager, and advanced scanning app for bulk model sellers. So it's everything under one roof, and it's giving many advantages during the procedure.
All in one for booksellers, let's say.
Right.
Yeah. And also another announcement, we have recently started writing blogs on Bookz Pro. So if you go to bookspro.com and there is blog here, and like every week on Wednesday, we choose a topic which we think that it's very important for Amazon booksellers, and you can read about it.
Cool.
For example, for example, this one, when we were mentioning about creating removal orders, this explains a case study of how we have saved like thousands of dollars through strategic removal orders. And this is like a case study from my account, which we have analyzed like thousands of orders and concluded, made some.
Wow, you guys really did analyze up thousands of orders.
Right. And it's Q&A.
Yes, there are some questions on the chat, but if you want to ask just by saying hello, you can unmute yourself, or maybe there's a button called reactions down below. You can click on that and raise your hand, and we can have your questions. Ömer, can you go ahead and answer the questions on the
Okay,
chat?
I'll start from the chat. Where do you see your limits? So you go to
Capacity manager. It's capacity limits he's asking.
Oh, limits. Okay, you need to go to manage inventory. You can go to manage FBA inventory, and in the very bottom, let me show you.
Let me see.
So you go to inventory and then shipments. In the very bottom, you see capacity monitor, or you can go to inventory and then FBA inventory. And you should also see that. Okay.
Oh, I think they got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
someone
they got
explained
it.
it.
Yeah, someone explained it to them. They got it.
Okay.
There we go.
And other question, many. Oh, okay. Thank you, Hussein. Mine says no limit. So if you are just starting out, it starts with 100 cubic foot, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
So for sure,
I can answer this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you have the time for being no limit, it doesn't mean that you don't have the limit. It means you can send as much as you can. There's some misunderstanding in here. You're gonna be having unlimited space until like 39 weeks after you send your first shipment. It's gonna be, a great time for you to send books unlimited. After that, they're gonna calculate it, and you're gonna be able to see that on the capacity manager.
Good to know. It's exactly 39 weeks since your first shipment.
Are you sure it's unlimited? I knew that it was 100 cubic foot. Are you sure it's unlimited?
It says no limits.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
I'm gonna have to look that one up, but yeah. I mean, you could be right. I'm just not sure about that because I haven't started a new account in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys don't know that. We
Okay.
have a lot. We have a lot of new sellers.
Gotcha.
New Amazon sellers that they're asking the same questions. It's
All right,
normal. I'm not judging.
No, you got it.
Okay, the next question is, what is STR? STR is the sell-through rate. It's basically like how fast your items are selling through on your overall inventory.
Oh, okay. And this guy's asking, what do you do with knowing what you sold? I think he asked that when you show the screenshot of the software and it shows you, what you had sold that day. Like, what is the point of that? Is what he's asking. How does that help you?
Yeah, it's just evaluating the performance, how I'm doing, how my inventory is doing, and we can do adjustments based on that.
Where do you see that in your Seller Central?
No, it's our mobile application. It's
yeah. Okay, on Booksy.
Yeah, Booksy. You can, so there is a tab there, and let me share my screen again.
While you're sharing, I can talk about another aspect of checking your sold items. One of the ways is you can assess your repricer.
Yes.
Maybe your repricer rules. Those are two ways you can assess, because if there's something wrong, you can understand from the selling price, the sold price. Maybe it's too aggressive. I mean, maybe you can change your repricing strategy. Maybe the repricer is not working as it's supposed to be.
Maybe you just decided to change your strategy out of blue.
Yeah.
Meaning to say that you see what you sold that day, and you see what is the price that mine sold at, like vis-a-vis the current buy box? Like, where did the pricer work and it sold higher than it, or did it like sell at it or lower than it?
It may change. That's a great question. Of course.
I think that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's a great question. So when you look at the items that you have sold today, if it's like 2 hours ago, the buy box price may be different than what you are seeing live here. So you will not know for sure if you get the buy box, if you sold above the buy box. But on the repricer, we have an algorithm, a different algorithm called buy box increase. So if we think that you are getting the buy box, and if there is a gap between you and other people, or if you are the only seller that is selling the book, and if you have the buy box, we are periodically increasing your price. And this is, of course, a feature that you can turn it on or off based on your preference. If you turn it on, it's basically increasing your price periodically. Let's say your price is at $20 and you still have the buy box. It's increasing 22, 24, 25 until you lose the buy box and it's coming back where it left. And also, other reason would be you have some maximum price that's overriding. So there can be many reasons, but it's just giving you the data to make some assessment.
And when you're selling, when you make a sale, are you always making the sale from the buy box, or is like most of the time you're making the sale from the buy box? So when your item sold, that was with the price of the buy box, opposed to like you're not usually selling above the buy box, are you?
That rarely happens. Most of the sales happening when you have the buy box, but pricing your items differently doesn't mean that you are gonna sell the item even if you don't have the buy box. Sometimes you are pricing above the buy box, not to sell when there is a buy box at the lower price point. Maybe you just want to wait a little, and buy box is gonna come to you.
Right.
Because buy box is something rotating.
I think I missed when you were talking about books that are no longer doing well, but like in the beginning when I was sending in books, my triggers were not what they are now. So I was picking up worse books. So now I have a good amount of books that are like, now they're like in the deadbeat category where like the buy box is like $7. And if I sell it at $7, then I'm at a loss. So would you lower your minimum price so that they sell? So you have like you keep your sell-through rate up, or would you just keep it at like a minimum price of like $9 or $10? So when those other books sell out, then your book will eventually sell. And then you won't lose money that way.
Yeah, great question. So if the inventory age is very old, you may want to just let it go. What I mean by, maybe you are gonna lose money by selling it for $7 because Amazon is gonna have let's say $7.40 fee, and you are gonna lose 40 cents. But you are actually saving money because other solution would be creating removal orders, and it's gonna be at least $1.
Right.
So in that case, like there can be some cases like that you are saving money on the loss. Because
but at the same point, are you trying to protect your sell-through rate at the same time by selling it so it just sells?
Yeah, sometimes we are doing that to protect our sell-through rate.
Yeah, so basically, just to add to this, you want to just cut your losses, right? So you want to, by cutting your losses, you're not paying for a disposal fee, okay? And it's also going to be very dependent on what your actual item is. So if you've been sourcing some books, okay, and it's like junk inventory, like you're saying, right? And it's like, oh crap, now I understand what 6 million rank means, right? And it's not going to sell through, then 6 million rank, if you take a look at it and it hasn't sold like in the past year, chances are it's probably not going to sell. So you want to go ahead and cut your losses to preserve your sell-through rate, which is correct. Okay. By having a better sell-through rate, you have higher capacity limits, which you can load with better inventory. And then at the same time, you avoid the removal order, which can be upwards to like, on average, like Ali was saying, I think it's about $2.50 to $3 per removal order. So you rather pay a negative 40 cents rather than a $2 to $3 than you would normally if you would just had to remove it otherwise.
Yeah.
And also, God knows, you can get positive feedback from that sales.
Yeah, like we are selling so many books at loss. Like 30 cents loss, because otherwise we would be paying more. We just want to keep things moving. When we listed those items, our intention was not to lose money. Maybe the price point was at $3 above, leaving us $2.50 payout or profit.
Right.
And it's depreciating, it's tanking. And I don't want to target more payout because I may lose profits on the fast moving inventory. Like, it's just, you are listing many of them, you are selling as many as possible for a profit. Of course, there will be some junk inventory that you need to just let it go.
Is sell-through rate essentially IPI and like the accumulation of like the excess inventory, sell-through, stranded inventory, and in-stock inventory?
Yes, those are
Okay.
the breakdowns for the IPI. But like, sell-through is the most important one. Like, what do you think, Dave? Do you think it's the most important one, or?
Yeah, sell-through rate is so when you take a look at your entire IPI score, okay, it's the combination of those items that fall under it. Okay, so the sell-through rate is one of the more important ones that raises the overall IPI score or decreases it, depending on what it is. Right. So you definitely want to have a sell-through rate up.
1.1.
1.1 is
bad.
not bad.
I got my IPI last week. I'm 3.5 months into selling. I got my IPI last week at 549, and now it's 552. I don't know where that puts me in terms of,
like, anything over 500. It's not bad.
Okay. It opened at 549 and then it went up to 552. But what I started doing, and tell me if this is a good idea, is I started going to my manage inventory and cycling through, like, from when I made my first sale until a month ago, and I started deleting all of my inactive inventory because all of the books I'm selling are one of one. So I'm going back and just deleting that.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do in order, like, is that what you just have to do manually to like keep it so you don't have all this, inventory that's not restocked that will plummet your sell-through rate?
So it's impossible to restock those inventory because, like, more than 95% of our inventory is a single unit. You don't know if you are going to receive that item ever again. And it for this metric, there is nothing that we can do about it. Of course, you can remove and delete your out of stock listings, but I don't think that would affect much. So you should focus more on the sell-through rates.
Just to explain a little bit what Omer was saying, really, okay, meaning like if you delete your out of stock listings, that's not going to affect your sell-through rate. Your sell-through rate is literally what you have in inventory, and how many of that is sold through over X amount of time would determine your sell-through rate.
So what is deleting old inventory that's out of stock going to do?
That's it doesn't really do a whole lot. I make a practice of doing it so that it just doesn't get out of control, but it also kind of saves you on anything that's kind of like like a red flag for Amazon, and that changes constantly, right? Sometimes you have a book that says, I just recently had one, Rich Dad Poor Dad or something last year that I've been selling forever, but all of a sudden, they're like, oh no, this is I don't know what they say, trademark infringement or something like that. So
like they could have an IP complaint on the book.
Exactly. Just because you had a listing up, okay, they can go ahead and give you a warning on that. So it just makes it a lot cleaner. It's a good habit to do. It doesn't really help you in terms of your IPI score, but it will help you just to keep a cleaner account.
Right. Just keep things more like buttoned up, I guess. And just
just do it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Someone from Amazon, like one of the sellers, like, when you call and they suggested that I do that. So I started doing it. My sell-through rate's in the yellow. I don't know what to do about that.
Yeah, yellow is not bad. You're fine. Yeah.
I'll just flip this around since this is us four hanging out here. Is that okay? I don't know.
There's more than just us four hanging out there, just so you know.
What else is there?
No. That's fine, but there's
it
more.
Looks like it's just four.
There are some more questions. He's referring to?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right. All good, man. All good. Anybody else got questions so we can share some space?
Yeah, let's see.
I have one question. It was a direct message to me, so that's why you cannot see on the
Oh,
chat.
okay. Yeah, go for it.
He's basically asking, does IPI score affects buy box?
Oh, go ahead, Omer. Does it?
That's great. Great question. Actually, it indirectly affects because like hey, are you guys familiar with the account health rating score? So
Yes.
HR.
yeah, account health rating score. So this is basically a score that Amazon assigns you based on how many orders you sell at some certain time. And the more sales you have, the more that score is gonna be. And when you don't have that much of sales, that score is gonna get decreased and decreased. And I have seen some cases, some sellers that are losing the buy box eligibility. So that's a great question.
Is
So
this a score that starts at 200?
yes,
Yes,
start
that's
at
the one.
200. Yeah, I've even talked to Amazon seller support for one of my accounts, and I realized that I'm not getting any buy box. It doesn't say like buy box eligible for one of the accounts we had. And I talked to Amazon seller support, and they don't say anything. I just ask the correlation, and they just say, "Hey, this is a buy box algorithm." They just say that, but I think there is a correlation on that.
And that makes sense because if you were not a trustworthy seller, then they probably wouldn't want you to have the buy box, right? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone else?
Oh, it's over an hour. It's more than okay. Let's few more.
Yeah. That Hussein is asking a question. Let me unmute him.
Okay.
Hussein, go ahead, please.
Hello, do you hear me? All right. One of your products reached 180 days, for example. What's your criteria to stay another 6 months? Like, what's your minimum profit expectations?
Yeah, go
So
ahead. I'm gonna let you take this one first, and then I'll add mine.
okay. So if the payout would be over, and that all comes down our strategies, because our strategy would be different. If you are doing cherry picking, your cost would be different. If you are doing bulk, your cost would be different. Your cash flow situation may be different. So there is no correct answer, but I can just tell you mine. I think it's around $5-6. If the potential payout is $5 or $6 or even $10, and there should be a correlation between the sales volume as well. If the average sales rank is, let's say, 4 million and sold quantity is only 1, of course, I'm not going to be patient for a very long time if the payout would be even $6 or $7. But if it's an expensive item, we can be patient. How about you, Dave? What's your minimum limit on that?
So I think, hold on. I think you have a higher threshold than I do. I start getting really nervous past the 180 days, right? So like Hassan was saying, once it gets past 180 days for me, okay, on the FBA side, I really start decreasing the price at that point. Okay, I would just become a little bit more competitive and drop my my minimum profits on that, and that's really for me to maintain the sell-through rate, as we talked about, right? To maintain a good sell-through rate, and then I don't have that much FBA space, and this is situational to everybody, right? So I don't have as high of a capacity as Omer does. So if something is sitting in there and it doesn't sell, that's preventing me from sending more inventory in there that would sell. So it's a cash flow thing, and the situation would be different for everybody, like you say. So this is why it's really important to kind of analyze your inventory, analyze your triggers, know what kind of bookseller you are. You're a cherry picker, you're bulk, you're mini bulk. And we covered that last time in my webinar. What kind of bookseller are you? Are you the cherry picker? Are you the baby bulk? Are you bulk? All that would factor into what your trigger should be. But yeah, for me though, once it hits 180 days, it starts dropping in price. If it ever hits to not even 12 months, I think about like 270 is where I kind of cut it off and say like, no, I'm already done with that. And that's really to preserve the space that we have so that we can send better stuff in.
Actually, trading removal would be the last solution. Like you need to make changes, adjusting your strategies throughout the inventory age. And the last solution would be creating removal order.
Yep. Good
Thank you so much. Love your contents, by the way, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Anybody else?
Nobody's raising hand. And I think it's all 1 hour.
Yeah, actually, there is one more last question, and I think Ali, you can take that question on the chat.
Okay.
And we can wrap it up.
The last one, yeah. What do you do about high pricing errors that continues to stay when you keep fixing it? Well, the basic strategy is to decrease price. Sometimes Amazon does not allow you to, put your price even over $10. So there's nothing much to do about it if it is that low. But other than that, mainly decrease your price until Amazon lets you list that item with that price.
Yeah. All right.
By the way, one more thing. If you're using any kind of repricer, do not change your price on Seller Central, because repricer will change it back.
Wait, what again?
For example, if you're using Bookz Pro, mainly you gave the duty of pricing to the repricer. So you need to make changes on the repricer, not directly on Seller Central, because repricer will do it for you. But if you do it on Amazon on your own, the application will get it back where it should be according to its algorithm.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I understand that.
Great point. Yeah. Again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. I hope it's very helpful for some.
Absolutely.
Hopefully all of you.
And if anybody is looking for us, you know where Omer is, and I am FBA_Dave on Instagram. Please find me there. Any questions are welcome. Hit me up. I like to chat with everybody, and then let's collab.
Yeah.
Ömer, are you gonna publish this on your
YouTube? We should put it on YouTube.
Okay, perfect.
That would be great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any other questions? Hit me up on Instagram. I'm pretty active on there and nowhere else. Although I am thinking about starting a TikTok now, because I got this mic now. You see this mic? This is the power mic, bro. This is the power mic.
You got
anyway,
the hype.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
You too. Have a great day.